Morning everyone, hope everyone's well, and I've brought you to a very special one, and it's a rather privileged permission visit for me with this one. We got the church to ourselves today, and this is the church of St Peter and St Paul at Peasmarsh near Rye in Sussex. The church of St Peter and St Paul, Peasmarsh, lies about a mile north to the south of the village. It is situated on one of the only areas in the parish to rise above 65 metres and commands fine views over the Rother and Tillingham valleys. Peasmarsh, known before the Norman conquest as Tetbald, began as a settlement around the Anglo-Saxon Minster, situated where the present church now stands. Evidence of Roman activity on the site, which has recently come to light, suggests much earlier occupation. The reason for the village subsequently moving away to the north is unexplained, but the most popular and most likely theory is that it was due to a serious outbreak of the plague in the 14th century. The present beautiful historic Grade 1 listed building dates from 1070, and a considerable amount of the original church remains. The ironstone chancel arch, with the unusual leopard-like creatures carved on each side, has remained almost untouched since Norman times. Around 1170 the tower was added. North and south aisles were formed by cutting through the original walls and making the present arches in the trans-Norman style. In 1240 the chancel was lengthened to nearly twice its previous size. Some 250 years later the south aisle was further enlarged and the south porch added. The exceptionally fine acoustics of this building led to it being chosen as the main venue for the Florstone Festival for 13 years. It is now a venue for annual flower festivals over the bank holiday, and at the end of May the Peasmarsh Chamber Music Festival each June. The latest generation of PA system and hearing loop is installed to further enhance the experience. So I'll give you a walk around of its exterior, then we shall go inside. Its churchyard, I'll cover the legible tombstones with photographs. They come out much better in photographs rather than video form. I've got friends in the local area who I've known for a good number of years, and one of those friends is a church warden in another church at Winchelsea, and she was a retired church warden. She's quite old now, bless her, and she was able to pull some strings for me. So we've got this one literally to ourselves this morning. It's got some beautiful stained glass, as we'll see when we go inside. But so much of it is Norman and has remained unchanged. And the original village of Peasmarsh was situated around this church. And it is most likely that the plague, or the Black Death as it's known, led to the moving of that village. There are a lot of lost villages in the country that became lost because of the plague. It's got a very large churchyard, which is why I'll cover it with photographs. Obviously there's hundreds of years of past parishioners buried here. And a massive thanks to my friend Brian, who is the son of the retired churchwarden I spoke of, who's dropped me off here and will pick me up later on. Let's go inside, shall we? Just think of the history these have seen. And how's that for an impressive lock for you? Let's pop my hat here. Here's its font, which is of course a lot more recent than the Norman era this church dates from. There's its old holy water stoop there. And this fella is simply known as the old man of Peasmarsh. Those who lost their lives in the Second World War. And there are people buried under the floor of the church. Thomas Parr, who died December the 15th, 1718, aged 50 years. Lies the body of the late Reverend Mr. Stevens Parr, late vicar of this parish, who died August the 8th, 1722, aged 39 years. Both sons of Mr. John Parr of Northampton. One of the old bell wheels there. Oops. was given permission to ring the bell. There's its first bit of beautiful stained glass, and on the stones people have written There's its organ, which dates from the 19th century, and I've been given permission to play this. I'm not an expert organist, as you'll hear. And this is the Norman ironstone arch. We'll see its leopards carved on there in a minute. There they are, Norman leopards. There's the other one. Its pulpit. To the memory of Elizabeth Thomas. Be not faithless, but believing. To the memory of Mr. John Thomas, died March the 15th, and it's in Latin or Roman numerals MDCCCIXI. And quite rarely for me with a church I was allowed to open up the altar rail and go beyond. As I say, some string pulling was done. IR Buck, and it's in Roman numerals and Latin. And that is in Latin as well. And in there is where the sacrament and things of the Mass are kept. The communion wafers. and buried right in front of the altar, which shows he must have been a very important man in the local area. Here lie ye body of Edward Shepherd Esquire, obit, which is died the 12th of January 1683. To the glory of God, the standards of the sanctuary rail were given to the church as a thank offering by Edward Henry Liddell, December the 6th, 1906. And with one last look at its Norman ironstone arch. Hope you all enjoyed the tour of this beautiful little Norman church. Thank you for watching.